What's going on, everybody? Tropelson here. Welcome back to the Bourbon Wrench. It's been a little bit, so that means more whiskey has been announced. Today, we're going to be talking about 9 brand new bourbons, whiskeys, all sorts of stuff that have been announced. TTB photos. So let's get right on into it. We got a lot to talk about. Now, this really wasn't planned this way, but a lot of the bottles on this list are age-stated bourbons. Age-stated whiskeys, like high-aged stated stuff. So it's just the resurgence of age statements, I guess. Let's go ahead and start it off with one of the lowest age-stated bottles on this list. Surprisingly, Baker's Single Barrel High Rye Bourbon, 7-year-old age statement. Seems to be something a little bit different than the Baker's stuff that we already know. So this appears to be high rye bourbon, which I felt like Baker's was a high rye, but I don't know. They say on the bottle, I've always been a firm believer that being different is something to be celebrated. Perhaps that's why single barrels hold a special place in my heart. Each one is a true original. Through limited releases like this one, we're once again celebrating what it means to be different. Made from a mash bill distinct from our signature bourbon. Okay, so I guess this is high rye. This is different mash bill, I guess. This release explores another side of the spirit. I hope you enjoy getting to know this one-of-a-kind character and the flavors that make it unique. Just as you'd expect, the bottle in your hand came from a single barrel. Take a sip and taste the difference. Now, this shows on here, 7 year, 2 months. I don't know, some of those other, Baker bottles, they still say 7 on there, and then they're like 8, 9-year-old. So no telling what these will actually end up being at, but we'll see. It's interesting. This is also another bottle being released by Beam. They are dropping so many bottles. It's ridiculous. They are just flexing on everyone. That's what they're doing. They're flexing. All right, moving on to one I am super excited for. Calumet Farm Kentucky Straight Bourbon. This is their centennial celebration, 100 years, 17-year-old bourbon. We've had 14, 15, 16. Everyone was like, oh, well, they got to do a 17. Yeah, they're doing a 17, and I'm so stoked. The 16, one of my favorite bottles ever. Just love that bottle. I'm running low. Now I need to get the 17. Aged Barton. Like high-aged Bart stuff, absolutely love it. I feel like this is going to be no different. I think if you loved the 16, I bet you're going to love this one. I know some people liked the 15 the best. Some people liked the 16 the best. I think 14 was, they were figuring things out. 58.5% alcohol, high proof, high aged. This is going to be good. I cannot wait. In fact, 117. I don't really remember what the other ones were. I know the 16 year was at 106 proof. So up in the proof, it's just gonna make it a little bit better, So I'm so stoked. I bet you it's gonna be kind of following the trend. It's like they've done $10 a year, so maybe 170. Maybe they go even more. I don't know, but just judging by the trend, I bet it would be in that ballpark. So not cheap, not cheap. Nor do I think this next one will be cheap. I saw this and was like, I didn't really know much about it. This is the Ancients from Redemption. This is an 18-year-old bourbon, 109.9 proof. And I really didn't know much about Redemption. I've heard it, didn't really know much about it. I didn't know what the Ancients were. But on the back of this bottle, I saw something that made me start, the gears start going. This is 18-year-old MGP. This is 18-year-old MGP. And I think if just my thoughts are correct, this is the stuff that everyone talks about. From back in the day when they were putting out this 10-year-old MGP stuff. I think this is that, but now it's 18, right? So this is going to be that stuff everyone just told you, well, back in the day, how good it was. Well, here it is. That being said, I bet you this is going to be very expensive. From what I've seen of the ancients, they were not cheap. This is not going to be cheap, but if this is what I think it is, the stuff inside is going to be really freaking good. So if you know more about this than I do, if you know more about aged MGP, go to the comment section and let people know, okay? Very, very interesting, though. That's, again, very high age stuff. Just like the next bottle. Widow Jane Black Opal, aged 20 years. 49.5%, 99 proof, okay? Released 2024, coming out this year. Black Opal is a bourbon as rare as its namesake. Aged 20 years, this is a whiskey to savor and cherish. Artfully blended across states. Finished in custom coopered Mizunara oak casks. Okay. Okay. Just to add to some extra money to it. Improved with pure limestone water from the legendary mines of Rosendale, New York, this opulent offering is surpassed in quality from its rich aroma through to the lavish finish. So, a couple things I want to point out. One, 20 years, Mizunara. So, Mizunara, we did a barrel bourbon Mizunara. I have a review of that. And so I learned a little bit about what the heck Mizunara is. It's just an expensive oak, okay? And it makes it taste very, very good. I'll give it that. But it is hard to come across, like, get it right, okay? And so it's usually ups the price a little bit. There's that. Also, Kentucky and Tennessee bourbon bottled by Widow Jane. So, it's age dated 20 years. That means it has to be 20-year-old stuff from Kentucky blended with 20-year-old stuff from Tennessee. Where are they getting the 20-year-old stuff? I don't know. 20-year-old Tennessee. I mean, how many times have we said it? That's going to be 20-year-old Dickel in there. And Kentucky, I don't know where they're getting it from. Also, they're not going to tell you how much of either. So, I would assume that whatever was cheaper to purchase, the 20-year-old Dickel, than the 20-year-old Kentucky, there's going to be more of that in the blend. Does that mean it's going to taste bad? No, but we've seen a lot of bottles come out from, you know, Tennessee, high-age stuff, very expensive, and then it kind of tastes like Clear's Day Dickel. So, up to you. I like Dickel. This is going to be expensive. I think they came out with like a 13-year or 14. They did an age-stated one, and it was not cheap. Yeah, so just adding freaking an entire normal bourbon's lifetime on top of that is going to be through the roof. And finished it in Mizunara. Yeah, going to be expensive, but whatever. Let's move on to another very high-age thing. I didn't know much about this. Let's just pull it up. World Whiskey Society. What does that say? World Whiskey Society Reserve Collection Straight Light Whiskey Cigar Blend. Aged 20 years. And then it's finished in a Wamori? I don't even know what that is. Cognac, Madeira, Pedro Jimenez sherry, tawny port, and tequila barrels. I don't know if I've ever seen something that's finished in that much. At what point do you lose the nuance of what you're finishing it in? You know, it's just crazy to me. That's a lot of different barrels. Like, how much could go wrong? Like, at what point do you're like, yeah, I'm not risking putting it in freaking tequila barrels now. It's just all over the place. No telling. It's intriguing. Now, something else I noticed about this that also had me like, I've never even heard of that, is mash bill. 99% rye, 1% malted barley. And it's a light whiskey. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I'm pretty sure light whiskey is normally like all corn. and this is the opposite. So this is like light whiskey that we have never, I've never even seen it. So maybe we have no idea what this tastes like. What does that taste like on its own? It's 20-year-old rye light whiskey. Crazy, never had that. And then it's finished in freaking everything. We'll figure this out. Someone is eventually going to try this and let the world know what the heck is going on with that. I don't know. Let's move on to one I got a little more insight on, and I'm super freaking stoked for. This is King's Family Distillery, red, white, and blue bourbon. Don't know when this is coming out, but like 4th of July coming up, this would be perfect, you know? So this is another age-stated bourbon. Bourbon whiskey aged at least 10 years old. It is also, according to the label there, distilled in Indiana. Tara and Justin King are renowned for finding rare barrels, and the red, white, and blue series is no exception. The mash bill includes 33% white corn, 33% blue corn, 33% crimson red corn, and malted barley. I'd never even heard of that. Like that just sounds fun, but who knows? I've never tried blue corn, crimson corn, and white corn all in one go, but I would. Only 12 barrels were made, with 11 remaining. This series pays tribute to our heritage and descendants of industry titans, pioneers, soldiers, patriots, and strong women. Here's to the Kings and to all our friends who share this wild ride of bourbon culture. Now, I just saw this one on there, thought it was really cool. I think King's Family, if you don't know them, I think either, one, you're going to, two, you should just go ahead and start. Go ahead and get you some. Go find a bottle and try it. Dang near everything I've tried for them is freaking good. And they're just doing like the craziest innovating and blending, and their ryes are fantastic. So be on the lookout for their stuff. Also, fun fact, the Nerds and Turds are going to be putting out a King's Family pick very soon. We're about to do the pick, so that's something that interests you. Get yourself some exclusive King's Family whiskey to grace your lips. Check out the Bourbon Wrench Patreon page. We're also gearing up to put out some new merch, so go check that out. All right, let's move it right along to another brand that I just seem to love. All of the stuff they're putting out, they just keep dropping hitters all the time. You know? Penelope. This is their estate collection. Penelope Straight Wheat Whiskey. 11 years. There we go. I've been loving some wheat whiskey. I've been seeing a lot more people we've seen a lot of 4-grain. I'm pretty sure Penelope, maybe all of their stuff, I don't know. A lot of their stuff is actually a 4-grain. So now, here we go. Wheat whiskey. They say Penelope Founders Reserve showcases rare and unique barrels. We were fortunate to find this limited release features 24 barrels of experimental straight wheat whiskey, crafted in April 2013 at the historic Ross and Squibb Distillery in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Aged in charred new American oak, these beautiful one-of-a-kind spirits were batched in 5 lots and bottled at cask strength, each with their own character. Non-chill filter. Love it. So, here we go. Just, you know, not much to say. Like, these guys don't really even have to explain things anymore. You know, it's just, here you go. Look at this. Wheat whiskey, 11 years old. It's gonna be freaking good. I'm stoked. All right, we got 2 more bottles to get through. Let's go ahead and keep it rolling. Let's go. Bam. OKI. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. 15 years aged in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. So you telling me this is a 15-year-old OKI with wild turkey juice inside of it? Hey man, I don't know much about anything, but I do know this is going to be good. Now, here's a very big problem with this bottle. You know, it might be a problem for most of these bottles, to be honest. Like, there just hasn't really seemed to be a lot of shelfers that I'm, you know, stumbling upon. You know, it's a lot of rare. It's a lot of limited edition, you know, Founders Reserve. A lot of this limited release stuff. Very high aged, very hard to get, very few of them. And this one, actually, not only can we assume that they have actually said it themselves, I think OKI stated that like 600 bottles of this, so it's not good. Not good odds. And therefore, I bet you the price is going to be very high, and then you won't be able to get it. The price is going to be higher. And the people who do try this are going to tell you that it's so good, and then you're going to have FOMO, and then you're going to be sad, and you're going to cry. That's the way it is. It's just the way I've noticed the market. A lot of these new things being announced. Here you go. Here's a little rant for you. There's nothing we could do. It's just what... There's nothing being added to the shelf as far as just regular everyday sippers go, you know? It's no one's really adding to their lineup. They're doing these one-off things, or starting a yearly, we're gonna drop it once, and there's gonna be 500 bottles, and freaking you suck. So, that's what we got. I bet you this will grace someone's lips, and it'll be very delicious. So, let's move it on to the last bottle, and, you know, I got the rant out of the way, and it applies very high to this bottle. We just saved it for last because, you know, I don't think any of us are gonna get it. OFC, Old Fashioned Copper, has been announced. Another one of these dudes. Distilled in the year 2005. Now, there's not a whole lot to say about this. This is Buffalo Trace. I guess OFC, that's probably what the distillery used to be named. All the, you know, heritage and all this stuff. If you guys don't know what this bottle is, it comes in this huge tube, like a cylindrical tube. It's freaking crazy. It's just, I mean, probably lights up and stuff, you know. Probably gives you a massage at the end of the bottle too. Very, very expensive. Thousands of dollars type of thing. Secondary, who knows? It's like, it's just crazy. Fun fact, because there's not much I gotta say about this, just another Buffalo Trace impossible thing to get. I tried the OFC, I want to say it was the 93 or 95. We're at a bar. It's Bourbon night. Was doing an event, and they went and purchased a pour of this from the bar, and it was like several $100s for the pour at the bar. And they went around and let us all take the tiniest of sips so we could experience some OFC. And
I feel like a richer man. I really do.
You know, again, I don't know much about much, but it tasted like an oaky Buffalo Trace. You know? Just, this is more so about flexing on people than it is probably getting the best thing you've ever tasted type thing. It's just flexing, like, peasants. So, there we have it, 9 new bourbons. We got a wheat whiskey in there that are coming. I'm super stoked for some of them. Some of them I feel like we have a chance to get. Others, you probably won't get it, and others it'll probably be out of my price range if I do come across it, which, you know, unlikely. So let me know down below what you think of these bottles coming out, which ones you are excited for. Do you think you're gonna get any of these? If you had the chance to get any of them, which one would you go for? Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you are new here. Remember to check out the Patreon page, all of that stuff. Your support goes a long way. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video.